In this episode of Let's Talk Tech, we talk about Apple celebrates 30 years of Macintosh, Tim Cook dodges questions about iWatch and iTV at Mac's 30th anniversary interview, Springtomize 3 goes live in Cydia with full iOS 7 integration, Where's My Mickey goes free in Appstore this week as App of the Week, and much, much more. What is going on, guys? It's David here, and we're back with the third episode of our podcast. And I'm here with my co-host, Max, from In Other Apple News. This is the third time around that we're doing this. Max, say hi.
What is going on YouTube? Same intro as last time. And listeners of Google+, back with our third podcast. Sorry for the delay.
Yes, we had a little bit of a delay because, unfortunately, my power went out and the computer crapped out on me, as well as the Wi-Fi. So, in the middle of the podcast, too. What are the odds? So, anyway, sorry about that. Hopefully that won't ever happen again. But anyway, so we're starting off the podcast right, with no errors whatsoever. And make sure to follow us on Twitter at MacTutorials14 and at In Apple News. For more updates, to add us to your circles in Google Plus to have more updates about that. So anyway, let's start. You want to get into it?
Yep.
Okay. So we have a lot to talk about, don't we?
Yeah, an inordinate amount.
So this is quite an accomplishment. A couple of days ago, Apple celebrates its 30 years of Macintosh. I believe, in honor of the 30 years, I believe a round of applause is in order.
Yep.
All right, so anyway, so wow, 30 years, wow.
Yep.
So anyway, it's amazing to think about how much technology has improved and changed in 30 years. It's crazy. From the 80s till now. I mean, you had these two you had this one pro company, IBM, against this one small company, Apple Computer Incorporated, as it was called before the release of the iPhone. But you had basically one big giant going against a small little mouse, and it was really a big business fight. And it's just cool to see how far. I mean, the funny part is no one even talks about IBM anymore. It's just Microsoft and Apple. That's it in the computer industry. IBM's really no more. So that's sad for IBM. But yeah, that's a huge milestone for Apple. So basically what they did is they redecorated their homepage. They made it look all festive for its 30 years. And there was this will just flow into our next topic. There was an interview about Mac's 30th anniversary with Tim Cook, and yeah, so he actually he talked. So the next topic is Tim Cook talks about Apple secrecy on Mac's 30th anniversary interview. So basically, what that means is they were doing an interview for the 30th anniversary of Mac, and Tim Cook, the interviewer, whoever the guy was, I don't know. He asked Tim Cook, what about this, this new iWatch, this new iTV, and he was really dodging the questions, and he really wouldn't answer it. But we do know he did confirm, that that there's a sapphire glass plant that's being made. I think that he did confirm something like that. I didn't watch the full interview because I really haven't had time yet. So anyway, that's a great milestone. 30 years of Apple, 30 years of Mac, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 40. I don't know how long of Apple, but 30 years of Mac, 30 years of Macintosh. So that's a great, that's a great thing. So anyway, the next thing we have to talk about is Springtomize 3 goes live in Cydia with full iOS 7 support. So I mean, this is huge.
Yep.
It's probably the biggest, one of the biggest things we got to talk about today. So, Springtomize 3, basically Springtomize 1 and 2 are tweaks that were released by Filippo Bigarella. I think I'm saying that right. Mm-hmm. Famous and infamous developer in the jailbreak world. Very, very good, a very, very good developer. And he developed stuff like Springtomize, stuff like forget what it's called, stuff like Harlem Shake, that Harlem Shake tweak that happens with Activator, where you can make your apps dance the Harlem Shake if you want to. But anyway, so we're talking about Springtomize 3. So there's a lot of new things that Springtomize 3 brings to the table, but I think the coolest one is the fact that it's the fact that really it's the third installment of Springtomize. So obviously by now Flippo Bigarella knows what he's doing. So we got a lot of things, and I know me and Max and I, if you want proper English, we actually tested out. I bought the tweak and I let him install it on his phone. So we had both tested that out, Springtomize 3, and it incorporates so many tweaks. I'd say over 30 tweaks. So really, folks, if you're listening right now and you're on the fence about whether you want to get Springtomize 3 or not, it's really a great bang for your buck, I guess, as you can say. It's really a good idea to do that. And yeah, it's just a really good tweak. It incorporates so much tweaks. So for, I believe, the $2.99, I think that's what it went for in the Big Boss Repo. For the $2.99 that it's going for right now, I think it's great. And in case you have an iOS 6 or iOS 5 device, or iOS 4 or whatever, it does also include a free copy of Springtomize 2 and Springtomize 1 for users that actually bought Springtomize 3, and for users that actually have bought Springtomize 2 in the past couple months, actually get this upgrade for free. And then I think that's what it is, whatever. But anyway, so me and Max have both, we both are experienced in that. So Max, what do you think about Springtomize 3? I know it's one of your favorite tweaks. What do you think about it?
It's a very interesting tweak that does a lot to your Apple device, and it can tweak it in many different ways, whether it's from tweaking the home screen or your dock or the labels. Could really be anything.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly goes from making reflections on the dock, from hiding different applications, from hiding icon labels. I mean, there's so many tweaks it incorporates. So honestly, for the $2.99, it's well worth it. So the next thing we have on our list is Where's My Mickey? The app Where's My Mickey went free this past Thursday in the App Store as this week's app of the week. Now, it will be free from this past Thursday to this upcoming Thursday. So every week, if you do not know what Apple does every week, is from Thursday to Thursday they release, it's already released on the App Store, but they take an app that's, it's widely received, a lot of people like it, and what they do is they reduce that price to free. If it was 99 cents, let's say, now they're making it free. And from Thursday to Thursday, it will be free. So this week's app was Where's My Mickey? So Max, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Well, I haven't really gotten to play this app, but I played Where's My Water, which is like a branch off of Where's My Mickey.
Right.
I didn't get a chance to play it,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw pictures of it and a video about it, and I heard that it was pretty fun, like fun as in like playing the game.
Well, yeah, same for me. I really didn't test it that much. I had it on my iPhone. I played a few rounds. It was just, I mean, I'm not that kind of gamer where I would like those, those games, really. I don't like those kind of apps. It's a little bit cumbersome for me. It's a little bit, I don't know. It's just, I like different applications that are a little bit more complex. And I don't know. I downloaded it anyway because it was free. And guys, as I always say, even if you don't think you're going to do it, you don't think you want it at all, I guarantee you'll be a lot happier in the long run if you download it, because what you can do is you can delete it off your phone, but you can still download it, and what that does is that actually saves it to your iCloud, so whenever you want it again, you don't have to pay the 99 cents or whatever it was originally before it went free in the App Store. You can get it free on your iCloud from when it was free. So that's why I'm saying if you ever, feel like you're on the fence about an application that went free by Apple, just get it. And then if you don't like it, delete it. And then at some point, if you want to get it again, instead of paying 99 cents, which it will turn back into after the Thursday, when they make another app, then it'll be on your iCloud so you can download it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next thing we have to talk about, Max, is
Plug 2 goes live in Cydia. Now, this news is from January 21st, 2014, which is like 6 days ago, but it's still news.
yeah. It's a little bit old, but yeah. So Plug 2, basically, Max, I'll let you say what it is.
All right. So Plug 2 is a tweak that lets you pick and cue music from your lock screen or control center. Now, I've seen a video about this. Now, by the looks of it, I don't have it personally, but by the looks of it, there's an icon down at the bottom. You click that icon, an application, your music application pops up, and then you click what music you want to listen to, and then it's just like quick access, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I had it installed when I first jailbroke my iPhone. I've been going through the motions a little bit with jailbreaking because Springtomize 3, what actually happened was I had InfiniDock installed on my iPhone as well as Winterboard. And something initially for all icon support tweaks, Springtomize 3 was incompatible with it. So, it was acting up, wasn't letting me use Springtomize 3 right, and I figured, well, I paid $2.99 for Springtomize 3, so obviously, because it worked on my iPad, which did not at the time have InfiniDock or Winterboard. So I was thinking, well, it must be for any tweaks that have icon support installed. So I uninstalled icon support, and sure enough, that fixed the error. So if you guys are confused about that, just uninstall icon support or restore, rejailbreak, and then uninstall that tweak or do whatever, and then reinstall Springtomize 3. It will probably have. I'm not sure if it already does. I think I think this update fixes it. I'm not sure if it does or not, but yeah. So if it doesn't, look forward to that. But yes. So anyway. So the next thing that we have to talk about is lively icons. Now, lively icons, I think, is a really awesome tweak. Basically, if you guys don't know what lively icons is, it was a little while ago. It was updated for iOS 7 support. But basically, what it is it's a tweak that will actually, if you set it to, you enable it. There's a kill switch in the settings panel for it, and you enable it. And if you want to set a custom animation for it, you can do so. By just going into the application, going into the settings and enabling it using the switch toggle, and then also doing that, and then making, let's say you wanted to make it bounce or you wanted to make the icon shake as you wanted to open it, then you can do so. So it's a really nice tweak, and yeah, so I really like it. So the next thing that we have to talk about is FaceHalt for iOS 7. Now, FaceHalt is a little bit of an older tweak. It came out I think like sometime like this time last year. I think it was with iOS 6 support initially, but it somewhat got updated for iOS 7. A link will be down in the description below. Well, actually, the source will be down in the description below from where you can get it. Now, note we do not support piracy, but I just want to put that out there. But as of right now, I will remove it once it gets full iOS 7 support. But as of right now, this is the only repository that I could find that has FaceHalt for iOS 7 support. And if you go to the default repository, which is Big Boss, I think, it will actually say that it's incompatible, but it actually is compatible with iOS 7. So yeah, that's just sort of a quick workaround. So as I said, repository or repo or source will be down in the description below. So anyway, me and Max have both tested this, and basically what FaceHalt does is it allows you to be looking at a video, like with the Galaxy S4, you can look at a video, and then when you look away, the video pauses. And then when you look back, the video starts playing again. So it's a really nice tweak, and I really like it, and it really helps me out, especially if something happens. My parents come in to tell me something or whatever into my room, and I was watching a video. Instead of I know the entire world's lazy, but instead of clicking, because it takes so long to click the pause button each time, now I could just look away and talk to them, and I don't even have to worry about hitting the pause button. So I guess it eliminates an extra second of hitting the pause button or getting out of the application or doing whatever. So it's a really nice tweak. I really like it. So Max, what do you think about it?
About FaceHalt, right?
Yes.
Well, when I got it, it wasn't really working out that well, but I sort of fixed it. But I had to re-jailbreak. Long story that will probably take up 45 minutes to explain. Don't want to drag that on. But I restored, and I didn't get it back on my device yet. So I'll probably get it tonight or maybe tomorrow night. I don't know.
Yes, so I actually don't either have FaceHalt, but we both have some experience with him, with it. With him, I said with him, but I meant with it. Anyway, so proper English here. So anyway, we both had some experience with it for iOS 7, but we did actually, because we both had to re-jailbreak, so we did actually, as a result of that, we do actually have it uninstalled right now, so we don't have it installed. But we will do that later. So anyway, so the next thing we have to talk about is AndroidLock XT 3.1.1. Now, this was updated fully for iOS 7 support, and it's just really nice. So currently, there are cracks available from different repositories, but I have not found one that actually works yet. So I actually did have to buy the tweak. I believe it was $1.99, something along the lines of that. It was either $1.99, 99 cents, or $2.99. I know it wasn't that much. But anyway, so I did have to buy it. It wasn't that much. But for what you get for it, it's a really nice deal. You can get a Pac-Man lock, you can get an Android lock, and there are custom themes available in Cydia. I'm not sure if they all support iOS 7 yet, because remember, not everything in Cydia, even to this day, because the jailbreak came out, like a month and a half ago, so even to this day, there are still things in Cydia that do not currently support iOS 7, and that's something else to look out for. So, yeah, it's really nice. So, Max, you want to get into the next topic?
Yep, the next topic is the Slo-mo mod, right?
Yes.
Now, the Slo-mo mod brings iPhone 5S style slow motion video capture to unsupported device. And it's not just for the iPhone 5S, right?
Yeah.
It's for any iDevice, I think, that's running iOS 7.
Yeah, basically what this tweet does is it brings to the table Slo-mo and Burst Mode. It actually installs Burst Mode defaultly now with it for unsupported devices. So currently, as stock, Apple only supports the iPhone 5S for both Burst Mode and Slo-mo. Hopefully that'll change eventually. But right now, it's only the 5S that has those two features, and what this jailbreak tweak allows you to do is allows you to add that on if you have a 5, if you have a 4S, any device running iOS 7 that doesn't currently have that. So if you're running an iPhone 5S, just don't install this. It doesn't really add on anything. The only thing it adds on is that which you already have on your device, so there's no need to worry about that for iPhone 5S users. But for the rest of us, it's a pretty cool tweak, and I think a lot of people like it. What do you have to say about it, Max?
I didn't get it on my phone yet, but I mean, I heard good things about it, like it shows the FPS.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. So yeah. So the next thing we have to talk about is, let me just go up here. You have this one.
Yep. So the next one is Alkaline. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, Alkaline.
Alkaline. So what this tweak does is it changes the top bar that shows your battery life.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it on my phone It's a theme status bar battery indicator without Winterboard, and I've seen videos about it. I've also had it too, so
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool tweak. I mean, I like the the whole idea wrapped around it.
And the nice thing is you don't need Winterboard for this either. You just install and go, and it's customizable in the settings app. So I do really like that. I actually just installed that because I've been hearing good things about it. Max told me it was pretty cool. So I figured why not? It's a free tweak. All it's going to do is just add a couple more megabytes off of it, or subtract a couple megabytes off of it already. So, I just decided to go ahead and install it. And from what I could tell, it's a really nice tweak. And it's pretty cool that you don't even need Winterboard for it. I was thinking initially, I was thinking that, when I had initially heard about it, I thought that you would actually need defaultly Winterboard, but that is not the case. You can just install it defaultly without the need of Winterboard, and you can go from there. So the next thing we have to talk about is QuickContacts. Now, this is a pretty cool tweak. Now, I did I had this installed, but when I re-jailbroke, I lost that, and I haven't downloaded it since. It's a pretty cool application, or I keep saying application tweak, but basically what it allows you to do is when you swipe down, instead of being defaultly, instead of having the spotlight search, instead of having that, you actually have a contacts menu where from there you can go into favorite contacts and see, you can put different contacts on there. So say if I wanted to add Max to that, I could do so. And then any other people or whatever. But the nice part about this tweak too is that you do not actually lose the functionality of Spotlight. All you have to do is just swipe over to the right, and then you are actually able to still access Spotlight search. So it's a pretty nice tweak. But yeah, so it's pretty nice. Anyway, Max, you have the next one.
Oh yeah, that's right. So Apple seeds the third OS X 10.9.2 beta to developers. Now this is for Mavericks, right?
Yeah.
I don't really test this stuff, but
Right.
I didn't get it on my dad's Mac, and I don't plan on getting it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if there were that many major changes.
As far as I know, I think it was, I'm not sure, this was probably in the first beta, but I think they changed, I think they made like Google Gmail integrated or whatever, and FaceTime audio. I don't even know, but I don't, I used to, back when I had Mountain Lion and, I wanted to beta test Mavericks, that's what I was doing, but it didn't end up well for me, so the only things I beta test are iOS. I'm actually not, unless it's a major update and there's some way I can get it without screwing anything up, then I will do so. But for these minor updates like 10.9.2, it's not really a new operating system, it's not really a new operating system because it's just an update to it. But every time there's a new operating system that comes out, like Mavericks, Mountain Lion, Snow Leopard, any of that stuff, I will probably beta test it just a little bit early, and then I'll probably get it off my computer because my day-to-day drive, I don't want anything bad happening to it because I use it from day-to-day. But anyway, so the next thing we have to talk about is so there's this app a couple of weeks ago. We did not talk about this because Let's Talk Tech did not actually start before this, but there was this app known as HipJot. I think I'm saying that right. So there's this app known as HipJot. So basically what it allowed you to do is it allowed you to go onto your device, and it was like I think it was free. It was like a test application. It only worked inside the app though, and it didn't come stock or locally on the keyboard, so there was not much you could do with it. But it basically incorporated the fact that you could swipe. You could have a swipe keyboard like on Android. So now the HipJot developer, is actually working on a new swipe style keyboard jailbreak tweak. So I'm not sure when that's going to be out, but he did release a notice saying that he is working on that. So that's going to be pretty cool. So Max, do you think you would install the swipe keyboard?
Maybe sometime in the near future. Maybe not right now, but
Yeah, I mean, well, first it's got to go into beta stages, and then it's got to, pass beta, and then even when it passes beta, when it gets its initial release, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of bugs or, stuff. Whenever there's an initial release, unless the developers really got it down pat, which I'm not sure if he's going to do or not, flip a Bigorella, even him with Springtomize 3, that whole icon support problem was not initially fixed, for when it initially had launched. So, even Flippo Bigorella, one of the best jailbreak developers, did not, have it down pat. So I'm not sure if this guy's going to, have it down pat and be able to work through all this stuff. But it'll be nice to see. Like I said, I'm definitely going to wait till initial release, until it gets out of beta. And then I'll probably wait until I see a review on it from either IDB or another source like that. So the next thing we have to talk about, this is actually a new jailbreak tweak, is multitasking gestures. Now, this just launched in Cydia a few hours ago. Basically, what this allows you to do, I haven't gotten it yet, but basically it's a tweak like Zephyr that actually allows you to do the same functionalities as Zephyr, only for iOS 7. Now, if you didn't know what Zephyr is, basically Zephyr is an application that is on, I believe, like iOS 3 through iOS 6. Basically, what that allows you to do is it brings the localization for the 5 pinch to close, little style of, it closes the whatever app you're in when you do 5-finger app close. So that's a really cool feature about that. And that was only on iPad initially, and then they released Zephyr. Also, if you swipe up from the bottom, it quits out of the application, lets you go back to the Springboard, as well as if you do 4 fingers and swipe across, like you can do on the iPad, you could actually switch applications if you have, depending upon what applications you have running in the background or whatever you have open at that minute, you can do stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I believe it's available for $1.99. No, it's $1. It's something like that. I'll get back to you on that. But it's in the Big Boss Repo, which is why I don't know a lot about it, because it just actually got released in Cydia a few hours ago. So I haven't been able to test it on my device yet. So it's pretty cool. What do you have to think about it, Max? What do you think?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting topic.
Yeah. So the next thing we have, this is actually our last thing, and then we will wrap up for the week. So the last thing we have to talk about really quick is SMS Stats 2. Now, I've never tested the SMS Stats 1, so I can't tell you. Maybe there was no SMS Stats 1. Normally, if there's a second one, there's normally a first one. Before there was a second one, I'm not sure if there was. I never heard about this tweak before, before a few days ago when I initially installed it. But it's a pretty cool tweak. And basically what it allows you to do is it allows you to go into the settings, or not the settings panel, the messages icon, or the messages application. It doesn't really matter. It still brings the functionality if you have Byte SMS installed. But you basically just go into the messaging app, whatever one, the default one, or Byte SMS, whichever you have installed on your device. Basically, right next to the person's name that you have contacted, it has a little S, and then you click on that, you could see how many messages on the device's lifetime that you received from that person, that you delivered to that person, how many total text messages and all for everyone, received and sent from and to your device. So it's a really cool tweak. Do you think you're going to get it, Max? Do you think it really has that much of a functionality?
Not to affect me that much.
Yeah. Do you think it's cool?
Interesting topic, like I said for the other one.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this week. So I hope you guys liked episode 3 of Let's Talk Tech. So anyway, that concludes this episode. Thank you to my co-host Max from Another Apple News. Always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
So anyway, next week, I just wanted to say before we end this, next week we will have Seth from The Greater Gamer. He was in our surprise Google Plus Hangouts video. If you haven't seen that, link will be down in the description below. He will be in our next podcast, in our next episode of our podcast. And yeah, so same time next week, Max?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Talk to you then.
See ya.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.